Hello everyone, welcome back to the Nostalgia Zone. This time around, we got Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen, which is a top-down action-adventure RPG-ish that shows us the origins of the powerful vampire Kain.
There is a magical operation of maximum importance. The initiation of a new aeon. When it becomes necessary to utter a word, the whole planet must be bathed in blood.
Call your dogs! They can feast on your corpses!
For fulfilling the circular mallet of the Satafan, you are hereby damned. The pleasures of the flesh are no longer yours. You have but one purpose, damned warrior. You will serve us for eternity.
The tavern's closing. Best be on your way, stranger.
What? No mug of ale for a weary traveller from distant Corhagen? I can reward you well, for I am of noble blood.
I stay open for no man in these dark times. Things come with the night that no sane man would welcome.
And so I left, cold of heart and soul, forced to the road and the long, bitter night.
The graphics look really good, given its age. That intro looks dated, but the story it's telling, it's just good. And now we're here. And the voice acting in this game is also fantastic. And this is where it all begins.
That's him!
Oof. That's a lot of enemies. I'm dead.
End it! Now!
You can't escape your fate, unfortunately. I've never been able to kill one of those guys. I don't know if it's possible. Probably isn't, because that's how the game's supposed to go.
They victors, suffering to the conquered. Ironic that now I was the one suffering. Not anything as pedestrian as physical pain, rather the cruel jab of impotent anger. The hunger for revenge. I didn't care if I was in heaven or hell. All I wanted was to kill my assassins. Sometimes, you get what you wish for. The necromancer Mortanius offered me a chance for vengeance, and like a fool, I jumped at his offer without considering the cost. Nothing is free, not even revenge.
You will have the blood you hunger for.
And so I will.
I awoke to the pain of a new existence, in a dank womb of darkness and decay. The sanctuary spell enables me to travel to my crypt, where the soil of my grave provides me respite. I often resort to this when I am weak and need nourishment.
The game's movement and controls. It's a bit slow, but it is responsive.
Reputed to have been ripped from the chest of the greatest vampire to have ever existed, Janos Audron, the Heart of Darkness restores vampiric unlife. Life is precious, Janos discovered, as it was torn, throbbing and bleeding from his own body.
And the dialogue is so poetic, it's just great.
This ancient vial bears with it a dark gift indeed, for with it my life force is increased. These ancient symbols of power contain raw magical energy that increases my own capacity to summon energy for the spawning of spells.
I'm not very good at aiming with a sword, it seems. Gotta be careful around those spikes. You will fall. You will take damage. Quite a bit of damage, if I remember correctly. And here's our save point.
Within the walls of these chambers I could find respite, and if I so chose, resume my journey when my weariness abated.
It is a very atmospheric game. The lighting, the graphics, and the overall design. It's just really well made.
The world had changed to my eyes. I had not expected such cruelty from the light. For in the embrace of the sun I could find no comfort, only malice. This would change in time for the worse, along with other things. When rainfall comes, vampires are wise to find shelter from its acidic touch.
I pressed the wrong key. Oh, exploding skeletons. What is that guy doing? The game is not action-packed. Like, there is combat, but the combat is slow and deliberate, as you can see. And there's some nifty spells.
These curious devices hurl bolts of whirling energy and eviscerate my human enemies by stripping ragged flesh from blood-stained bone.
And the narration is almost Shakespearean, I would say. And it gives it a lot of charm. I also don't remember how to use the spells. I also don't think there's any running in this game. You're always walking, but I believe there's fast travel, but I don't remember.
Hunger and weakness are no bar to vengeance's call. I would find my slayers and send them back whence I came.
Have a seeker. If we put you down once, we could do it again.
What trickery is this?
Their sneering faces were forever etched upon my memory. I had crossed death for this moment. My mind was empty save for one thought. I would kill.
He will kill.
There is no greater release than that from vengeance sated. With my assassins dead, my quest was over.
Oh no, my friend, your quest has only just begun.
"'Tis not over, Kain. These fools were merely the instruments of your murder, not the cause. Look to their masters, look to the pillars, and gain way to the fortress of the mind."
This was where the bloody deed of my murder took place. I would not be kind to the denizens that lurk here. They would taste my steel, and I their blood.
The voice acting on all the Legacy of Kain games is really top-notch. At least in my opinion. Wait, what? Really? What did you expect would happen? And you... Well, he's gonna ignore me. Ah, here we are. You have your inventory, your spells.
Iron armor. Iron sword.
Or I should say,
Sanctuary.
your items, your spells, and your weapons. I am not gonna check the controls right now.
The necromancer had offered me no warning as to what my resurrection would entail, and yet I must confess in my haste I had not sought one. Was his gift a curse? I would seek the pillars for an answer.
Yeah, you cannot trust necromancers. Then again, in his position, I probably would have done the same. I love this game.
Nopraptor, your madness has shattered our dreams and blinded you.
Keep your distance, or I'll send you back to hell, spirit!
There is nothing left of me to fear, vampire. I'm only a shadow of my former self, Ari, the balance of the Circle of Nine. Even so, I can provide the answers you seek.
I seek only a cure.
There is no cure for death. only release. You must destroy the sorcery that is now poisoning Nosgoth. Only then will you realize peace. The 9 of the Protectors of Hope were sworn to use their powers to preserve our world. Now these pillars have been corrupted by a traitor. My murder at the hands of this beast drove my love Naprapton mad. Now he spreads misery and pain among the Circle, crumbling the very foundation of Nosgoth. You must restore balance. You must right the Pillars of Nosgoth.
I care not for the fate of this world.
Then for yourself, Kain. Beware the unspoken.
Napraptor, with his blind act of vengeance, threatened to destroy all of Nosgoth. Each Circle member was bonded to the pillar he served. The pillars reflected the mental state of their servants, and as the minds of the Circle degenerated and descended farther into dementia, the pillars crumbled. To restore them, each member of the Circle had to die, and the artifact that served as their link to the pillar had to be returned. Only when all the pillars were restored did Ariel claim my curse would end. And so, my hunt for Napraptor began. The Pillar of Balance, once defended by Ariel, the pillars choose their own.
The world is in a very bad state right now.
In bat form, I can travel great distances with ease. From my vantage in the heavens, no region of Nosgoth is forbidden to me. These beacons serve as landmarks during my flights in bat form. Once I have committed their locations to memory, I can always
There was
return.
fast travel.
These beacons serve as landmarks during my flights in bat form. Once I have committed their locations to memory, I can always return. As daylight chases darkness, the vampire's power wanes.
This game also has a very interesting feeding. The vampires in Nosgoth feed from long range, which is something that's not very common in vampire stories. But I believe that's where I'm gonna leave it. The game has lots of dungeons like these, and all dungeons have a save point, just like the one on the left. Each dungeon holds an item as shown by the tile over here. And these are your new abilities or new equipment. You will be going through lots of dungeons, so I would say this game is also a dungeon crawler. Apart from being an action-adventure and RPG. The game has a lot of charm, and it has aged well. The graphics, particularly in the cinematics, they are dated, but they still hold up, I would say. The music is very atmospheric, and the dialogue is just great. Both the words that are said and the way they are said. I really like the main character. Very poetic, very Shakespearean, as I was saying earlier. And very uncaring. Like, he's a bastard. That's it. And while I don't particularly like villains, the Kain character is really well made, and if you played through the games, well, you know his arc. Among all the vampire games and stories, I think the Legacy of Kain series is my favorite, or is at least among my favorites. This game is a classic. And I would say you would be doing yourself a great disservice if you never gave it a go. I don't recall how long the game is, but there's a lot to explore and a lot to do.
Oh, please, help me, kind sir!
And it's just a really cool adventure. Dark, but pretty cool. So, Vae Victis. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Cheers.